Good evening, everybody. Tonight we're going to talk a little bit about episode 5, which, if everybody noticed, I wasn't there. I actually had a previous commitment that I had to attend to, so I was unable to be at this particular investigation. However, we did talk a great deal prior to them going on to that location and me actually traveling home to take care of some business and come back, and we talked about what experiments that they would do. Originally, John had wanted to actually make a crystal radio out of the geode, which I thought would have been very entertaining, but with traveling and being on the road and everything, it was difficult to get all the equipment together to do that. But what we did do is we concentrated on a couple of things, and these were things that they could easily do throughout the entire investigation using handheld equipment. And one of those things was trying to determine if there was any kind of RF or radio frequency involved in portal formation or paranormal activity, and the other thing was to document gamma radiation. While we had established a gamma radiation connection early in the season, we felt it was necessary to fully explore that, because in my wormhole theory, I make predictions that gamma radiation spikes will be present due to the annihilation of exotic matter, which keeps a wormhole stable when it comes into contact with our matter. And because it happens at a Planck level or a quantum level, particle level, instead of having a thermonuclear explosion like you would if we annihilated an atom, you just have a brilliant burst of gamma radiation. So with everything the boys did and everything that they got in their investigations, they discovered that there does seem to be an RF connection to some wormhole formation, which is a very important clue because it may lend some type of insight to artificially creating a wormhole one day. And the second thing that they did was there was a clear and concise correlation between activity or emerging phenomena and gamma radiation. In fact, both of them noted that when the room went quiet and the activity ceased, the gamma radiation also ceased. So this was a vital clue and another reinforcement of my wormhole theory, stating that based on Kip Thorne's research, that exotic matter would be required to keep a wormhole stable. So while there was gamma radiation occurring, there was activity occurring. When the activity ceased and it became quiet, the gamma radiation also ceased. So to me, this was a clear-cut correlation between the presence of gamma radiation and activity. So, is it enough to say, yes, that's exactly what happened? No, but it's very compelling evidence that that may be what is happening. So the only way that we will be able to demonstrate that it's, a truth is to continue doing this and to continue correlating this presence of gamma radiation with the actual paranormal activity. Now, this episode was kind of freaky because there were some things about it that were hard to explain, such as the blood-stained footprints. It would have been really nice to have treated the floor with luminol and used ultraviolet light to see if it was in fact blood stains. But there might have been a problem with that due to the owners and doing something like that in somebody's property. Even though luminol leaves no residual or no stains or anything of that nature, it may not have been possible to do that based on the location, and understandably so. I mean, it's a historical location. However, it would have been interesting nonetheless to see if we could correlate that it was actually would actually set off the luminol, meaning that it was really blood. That would have been very cool. A couple other things that I observed was that the house itself seemed to have a effect on the individuals inside physically. John had dizzy spells. Chad had a notation of feelings. And by the way, after watching this episode, I am firmly convinced that Chad is gifted and is a serious empath, and he picks up on things that are more intense than maybe the rest of us do. So this would add more weight again to his severe reactions sometimes to things when they happen around him, because he's literally feeling it with his spirit as well as his body. The other things that I thought was fascinating was the Indian burial mound area, as well as the old cemetery. These are things that usually we don't run into to investigate or to spend much time at, but I was very pleased with the fact that they were able to do that, and possibly because of my absence from the show, they were able to air more of that daytime type of investigation work. So you really got a little bit of something you don't normally get in my absence, which was good. I think it was important to demonstrate that, you know, paranormal activity can and does occur at all hours of the day and night. So you don't have to do it in the dark, and you don't have to do it, at nighttime. It could happen at any time. In fact, I have had experiences in Gettysburg on the battlefield in broad daylight. I've had experiences in several locations in broad daylight. So really the time of day has a little to do with it. I think when you do it at night and in the dark, your senses are more jacked up and you're more aware of your surroundings than you normally are, because you don't have all these distractions going on around you that, you know, are in your field of vision or what you're hearing or seeing. So I think in that aspect, nighttime investigations tend to be more intense because our senses are more keenly focused on what's going on around us. But looking back now from the last 4 episodes and this episode, we're clearly starting to demonstrate evidence towards the existence of portals, or what I call a wormhole. Every episode we did, we managed to do an experiment that added weight to our, at this point on the show, our hypotheses. So we're really moving forward to demonstrating that portals are real, they do exist, and they're quantifiable, meaning we can measure aspects of them. Now, of course, you know, a lot of stuff doesn't get included in the show, so you don't see a lot of the controls that are put into place, you don't see the security measures, you don't see a lot of the prep work that goes into it. But it's there, and hopefully in the next episode, which I shall return in, to all those of you out there who missed me, we will be doing a brand new experiment that's going to be something completely different, that's really going to, I think, open everybody's eyes a little bit and make you think in a sort of different direction. So thanks for watching this week's episode. I look forward to hearing from everyone and seeing how everyone likes next week's episode, which, by the way, is our season finale. So if you like our show and you like following us, you know, drop messages on the network page and tell them you want to see more of us, because we sure like coming to you and showing you these things. So everyone have a great week. Look forward to tweeting with you guys and seeing you guys on Facebook, and have a great time, and we'll see you Thursday.